Hey, super smart, spirit filled singles, and how have you been? Yeah, you're welcome to another episode where we talk about personality, we talk about love, we talk about life, we talk about relationship, we talk about marriage, we talk about everything sweet, soft, and strong. Oh, yeah. So, you're welcome to another episode. And so today I want to talk to you about a character of a man in the Bible that I love so much, but then I'm going to give it a terminology that we are used to, a language. I'm going to give it a language that we used to in our time and our season. And so you're welcome once again. So I want to talk about no to narcissism, but yes to nobility. And I want to pick the character of Boaz, the pleasant man, the good man. So I'm sure you're going to love the story. I want to pick on his character traits that were really so good, that give him that edge in scripture, and you can actually apply as a brother, or you can actually look forward to in a brother as a sister. If you're watching this, yes, you can pick this characteristics. They're so powerful and they're game changers. And if your brother watching this and you don't have this, you can develop these competencies and close up the gaps that you really need to close up. I really do love the book of Ruth because it taught me something profound. It taught me that in adversity, my response should be advanced. No matter where you find yourself, the mess that you have done, you just advance. Anywhere you are can take you anywhere you want to be, right in the Lord. We saw that in the book of Ruth. So I just take you now to the book of Ruth, chapter 2, where, Ruth had already returned with Naomi to the land of Bethlehem. And then she decided to go work, decided to go do something. She doesn't want to be idle. My other video I talked about idleness is a terrible place to be, is a terrible state to be in. So she decided to go work. And so the first thing I learned about Boaz is that, remember, the Ruth went to work in Boaz's field. And so when Boaz got to his field, he greeted everyone. He blessed everyone. So he was such a pleasant man. So one of the things that I learned about noble people is that they are pleasant people. So you want to be a pleasant brother. You want to be a pleasant guy. You want to be a pleasant dude. You want to be a pleasant man. You want to be a pleasant boy. You want to be a pleasant male. So he was such a pleasant man. He greeted everyone. It was his field. He didn't come there feeling bossy that it's my land. You get out. You're not doing your work. No, he was so pleasant. He blessed everyone, appreciated everyone for their efforts and the things that they bring on his field, the work that they do together, the teamwork that they, the effort that they bring together as team, to bring an effective and productive result on the field. He appreciated everyone. He was so pleasant. He did not go there and start talking to them like they're nothing, or without them his field would do. Of course, he could also get other laborers on the field. No, he was so pleasant. So first thing you have to learn is that you have to be pleasant. So if you're not a pleasant brother, you might want to close up that gap. Yeah, the second thing I learned, that he was an emotionally intelligent person. When he got to his field, he knew that there was a new worker. Some people will get to their field, they will know that a new worker has come in, a new laborer has come in, or they won't observe the environment, because emotional intelligence teaches that you observe the room. You must observe the room. When Jesus got to the tomb of Lazarus, remember that one of the things I believe, the reason he wept, I believe, is that he was emotionally intelligent, because of course he's the resurrection and the life. They didn't have the revelation of who he was at a time, standing right there. But he knew that crying, it's the room. It's the room. So he read the room. He got there. He knew that someone new had come in, and he took notice of that. So you have to learn to be emotionally intelligent. And when there's a change, yes, you have to observe that. And so for sisters watching this, you have to be with someone who is emotionally intelligent. You don't want to be with someone who is knobbed there, who doesn't care whether if you carry a new bag, you make a new hair, you want the person to notice that. So that's what emotional intelligence teaches you. How to observe, how to conduct yourself, how to be regulated, modulated, how to be governed. Yeah. So that you don't, have too much excesses in everything that you do. So he was emotionally intelligent. The next thing I learned about the character of Boaz is that he was inquisitive. He saw Ruth and he began to ask questions. So he didn't just say, "Oh, who's that one?" No, he went to ask questions, or he didn't feel that because probably he liked her, probably she was looking so beautiful, go to meet and start touching her. No, he was inquisitive. Who is this person? Where is she from? Whose daughter is she? How did she get to the field? He asked a couple of questions. Of course, if you ask questions, you will get answers. Whether you ask questions about your bloodline, or about your character, or about anything you decide to question, you would find answers, you will get responses. So, of course, he did question, ask a lot of questions, and of course, he got responses. So, one thing I learned about noble people is that they ask questions. They ask questions, they go to the right places and they ask the right people. They don't go to enemies and fools to ask questions. No, they go to the right places and they really ask questions and they get answers. Yes, the fourth thing I learned from the character of Boaz is that he created a safe space for her, to work, and, created that place where she is free and she feels loved and wants to come back again to work. Some of us are bosses, but our places of work is so toxic. We're toxic people, we're releasing toxicity on a high. Hey, come on, King. Come on, boss. So he told her that, I know a lot of people want to argue with me and say, he was liking her. She's beautiful. He was attracted to her, blah, 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 and all that. Well, I don't know about that. Remember that he called that daughter. So, yeah, so I really don't know about that. But I just know that he just gave her a safe place. And no woman wants to leave a place where she is loved, where she's well taken care of, where she's pampered, she's protected, she's spoiled with all the goodness and, of course, spoiled and corrected. And yeah, so all of that come with a package. I believe in that. I believe in balance. So, but nobody actually wants to leave a place where they are loved, So he created that safe space for her. You understand? Told her that you can glean here. In fact, don't go to another man's field. This is the best place for you to work. So yeah. So you have to learn to protect people that are under your care, or even if you're with someone, you're cutting someone, you're getting married to someone, you have to learn to bring that protection around them. It's so powerful. It's a game changer. The person will feel loved and want to stay longer with you. So the next thing I learned about Boaz is that Boaz also invited her to feast without an ulterior motive. He just said, come and feast with us. And he's not this kind of man that segregates and feels that, who is this one? She just started working. I mean, we don't even know her. We don't want to bring her to our circle. No. Of course, I said earlier that he was actually an emotionally intelligent person. And so he invited her to come and feast full with no ulterior motive of thinking he wants to touch her or tell her that I want to date you or whatever, or asking her too many questions. No, she just got there. She ate. And if I know that Ruth too was a smart lady, she ate. She didn't eat everything. This one's for ladies now. She didn't go there and eat everything with her. Eat with her 10 fingers. She ate and she kept some for her mother-in-law. Anyway, that's another conversation for ladies and another video. But this one. So he invited her to feast. She ate. She was at peace. And she ate without any other thing, without even having to bore her or, give her too many questions, ask her too many questions that would overwhelm her. No, he didn't do that. The next thing I learned about Boaz is that he's such a man who can cover someone's shame, and he's not someone who takes advantage of people. So if you're noble, you won't take advantage of people in their vulnerable state. Remember when Ruth went to lay at his feet, you would think that he would want to, say, who is that? Who is that? Oh, that's right. Good time. I've been loving this lady. I've been trying to bring her around me, and now she's at my feet. I'm going to have all the sexual exploration I want to. No, he didn't do that. He didn't think about it. He didn't nurture that. He said, why are you here? Asked a couple of questions. And, when she was saying all of those things, he was saying, of course, he's a noble man. He said, okay, I'm going to do this the right way. That's going to take me to my next point, though. I'm going to do this the right way. And remember when he was asking her to go, so that she will not be shamed by the society. Of course, that society at that time. Even now, we still have people shaming people in society. But and one of the ways that you can despise, you can bring shame to a 0 point is to despise it, make it nothing, ridicule it, bring it to nothing. Of course, so he didn't want her to feel shameful. He said, okay, why not bring your clothing or whatever, your bag? Let me give you some of this thing so that you will not be thinking that, oh, you came to do something here or something. Don't think you came to get grains and all of that. I mean, covered her shame, did not take advantage of her. The next thing I learned about Boaz, I think this is my last point. I love this one so much. He's a man of order, governance, and due process. Because Ruth was there, he didn't decide to take advantage of her. No, he said, I will go through due process. I will follow the rules and regulations. Some of us are with people that don't obey rules and regulation. They always want to, the country where I live in, one of the ways that you show that you're powerful is that you break rules and regulation. Oh, yes, you break rules and regulations. So you don't want to be with someone who breaks all the rules, as simple as traffic rules. They break it, and your children will be like, but daddy, that's the red light. It's on the traffic red light says, stop. Why are you moving? And they give explanation. They always go against traffic rules. They follow one way. My goodness. You want to be able to nurture children in the way of the Lord. You want to be able to make children grow with the right mindset, choosing to do the right thing, making the right choices, the right decision on the every time they have to make a choice. So one of the things that I learned about Boaz, and this is so powerful, is the man of all the governance, due process. He's not going to say, since you're here, let's just bypass all that, let's just break all the rules, let's just go and bribe, let's just go and disobey, let's just find a way out. Always finding a way out. There's a queue, you can go through the queue, except they say, oh, priority, probably you have a baby or with your pregnant wife or something, or you're with a sick parent, they want to give you priority, probably something is wrong, or they want to give you. Apart from that, due process is so powerful. It teaches you the power of patience. Yes. You can be patient and you still do well. Do you understand? So I learned that from the story of Boaz. And I hope all of the 7 points I have raised has really so blessed you. And if you're with someone, you can actually look out for these things. They are powerful. Because one of the reasons divorce rates is high is because men don't really have these characteristics. These things are things that can build your relationship, build your home. Even if you're married and you're listening to this, and you have some kind of traits that your wife is complaining about, some, this lingua that's common in our time, narcissism, please, you can trim that, you can take that out and begin to do the right things. I hope this has blessed you. And I do love you. And I'm going to come up with more videos by the Spirit of God and inspiration of God. I love you. And I'm Esther Chinedu Dechiku. Bye for now.